we have generations of kittens, then a period of highly sexy times.
Hello and welcome to the QUACKCAST. This is QUACKCAST number 458. I'm Ozone Ocean, and with me is Tart and Baines. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello. This week it's Christmas time coming up. This QUACKCAST comes out on the Christmas Eve, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, hey, wonderful. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Festivus for the rest of us. And whatever else is around the same date. Saturnalia, perhaps? I'm not sure. Kwanzaa? Did we say that? Kwanzaa? Yeah.
I have no... I hear it a lot around this time, so probably
okay. Kwanzaa, yeah. All that. Whatever you celebrate... Happy to you. Happy to you. Well, before we get into any more of that, let's bring up the featured comic. Featured comic, Quai did it this week, called Legend of Wind Fist. So,
that title got scary right at the end.
Yeah, feels very Asian.
Yeah. God. Legend of Wind Fist. Take away, Quai. Fight!
Hello, this is QUACKCAST, and the feature I've selected for this week is Legend of Wind Fist by Miguel Hahn, and it is rated E for everyone. Lobo is one of the greatest boxers in the ring. One day, after getting knocked out from a long day of training, his pet retrieves a mysterious ball container that might have housed an unknown creature. Why has this creature suddenly appeared in Lobo's house, and what adventure does it have in store for him? The Legend of Wind Fist is written entirely in the Spanish language. It is drawn mostly in black and white digital art. Follow the mysterious creature and the metal ball and read Legend of Wind Fist by Miguel Hahn, rated E.
And that was our featured comic, Legend of the Wind Fist, which is actually in Spanish, I think. That comic looks fantastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's our first non-English comic that's been featured. We've had other comics that are, English, where the writer speaks English as a second language, and where they've had like an English version and a German version, an English version and a Spanish version, and we featured the English version. But this one is only in Spanish, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, happy Featuremas to Legend of the Wind Fist.
Congratulations.
Indeed. What's Happy Christmas in like Feliz Navidad?
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Wish you a Merry Christmas.
There you go.
So next up is our featured music. This week, Gummels has given us the theme to the St. Nicholas Conspiracy, which is what I featured the other day. So this is very much a Christmassy themed thing, which is pretty cool. And I would describe this music as: the good children once looked out to see their parents scheming, and the lies lay round about, deep and crisp and steaming. Brightly shone the truth with light, though ears with lies were full. When bursting with right, Mitchell's words seemed true. So there you go. And that's, of course, my rewording of Good King Wenceslas. So, have a listen to The St. Nicholas Conspiracy by Gunwallace.
Lovely.
Wallace. And that was the St. Nicholas Conspiracy, which is a comic by Durkee, and it's rated T. Durkee or Dorky, I'm not sure. And it's, rated T. It's a comic I featured the other day. Lovely theme, a lovely comic. And you guys, I was gonna just chat about this when we were in between, in the silent part where we don't normally, we normally edit it out. But Good King Wenceslas, do you know the story of that from the lyrics at least?
Tell us.
Well, so this is a Christmas carol. It's written by an American school teacher in the 19th century, the mid-19th century, and the story is about some Czech king, and it goes off. Good King Wenceslas once looked out on the feast of Stephen, and the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. So he's looking out from his castle, his tower, whatever, and the snow is deep and crisp and even. So he sees this old guy collecting wood outside his castle, and he thinks, oh God, that poor old guy, he's there all alone collecting wood. And it's, it's night time and it's freezing cold. What's he doing there? So he calls his page to him. He says, Page, who's that guy out there collecting wood? What's the story? And the page says, oh, that guy, he lives alone, right up at the sort of the foot of the mountains. And there's almost a fence of trees around where his house is. That's where he comes from. And the king says, oh, that poor guy, let's collect a whole bunch of food and stuff, go all the way out to his house and give it to him and make it a nice kind of Christmas. So the king goes out there and they sort of walk single file. The king's sort of being really nice to the page. So step in my footprints, page, and we'll make it a nice Christmas. And of course the song makes no sense, because why would a king only go out of his castle with the page by himself to go and give some old guy some food and stuff like that? So you think, that's a bit silly for a start. But then you think deeper into it, why would this old guy be all the way down near the castle in the snow collecting wood when he lives up in the mountains right near the trees? I mean, why was he there in the first place? What's going
What's
he was
going
trying
on?
to be noticed by the king.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted that food.
Yes.
There's a deal with him and the page, and the page knew the guy. So
there you go. That makes more sense.
Yeah, that's it. So he's going, at 12 o'clock, this king's going to be looking out, and he's a real gullible fool. So you just be collecting, and he won't know. I'll tell him you're collecting wood. There's no wood out here. So you'll get your.
We'll make him feel like it's his idea.
Exactly.
Little secrets.
See, this gullible king going out and collecting, bringing food and stuff for this old bastard. Exactly. Anyway, it's a lovely sounding song. It's one of my favorite Christmas carols because it just sounds it's got a nice rhythm. Yeah, but the lyrics make no sense.
What speaking of, since we have started on Christmas carols, wow, the brand is working today.
Christmas
So
Carol.
um, if um, what are your favorite ones? Okay, Oz has Good King Wenceslas, or however he's called. How about you, Baines?
Favorite Christmas song? Oh gosh, let's see. I'll probably come up with another one after I say this, but musically, I really like.
Which one?
Okay, I'm not going to be. Musically, I really like "We Three Kings."
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I like the melody. I like the rhythm of it.
Well, especially when they sing it as a madrigal. I think that's the term. When you have a bunch of people singing the verses at different times. So,
okay, yeah.
We three kings of Oriental. Yeah, and then someone comes in just a bit later, and then you have someone, and all the things are all going at once. Westward leading, blah,
Beautiful.
blah,
I
blah,
like
blah. I like that one. What about you, Tans?
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah, what about you, Tans?
I like my. I'm going to name those that are like from Western Christmas carols. My favorite one is "O Come, All Ye Faithful." I really like that.
Yeah, that's a favorite of mine as well. It's because it's sung with a lot of gusto. It's quite a loud one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like it. No, I always like it because I like the tune and stuff. But there are some versions that are very pop.
I hate those.
And I don't think that they fit the particular song and the content and everything. It's not that, I don't like it as much when it is very pop, sort of New Kids on the Block kind of execution, I will say, not even version. But, and the other one is, Do You Hear What I Hear? I don't remember how it's.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah. Do you hear what I hear?
That one, yeah. I really like it.
One of my favorites is "We Wish You a Merry Christmas."
It's
loud.
Those are fun, super fun. And the other one from the fun ones is the 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, that's a trying one. That one. On the first day of Christmas.
All right, let's sing it now. The whole thing.
Oh my God, no! And I think that I started liking it and actually really loving it from seeing this performance by Julie Andrews and this German choir that keeps giving her stuff.
Oh no!
As in German, and it's amazing. It's an amazing secret. I'm gonna try and find it just so that we can link it under, in the introduction to the QUACKCAST. But it's hilarious because she has this really kindly look to her as she starts. At first, she's having fun, but then she's getting progressively frustrated by constantly getting stuff shoved into her face and stuff. And it's amazing. I'm going to try and find it now so that we can link it.
7 lords are leaping.
Yeah. 6 geese are laying, 7 ladies dancing, and
5 golden rings.
4 something hens. 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Oh, geez, yeah, that's an endurance song. There's a few of those, but that's the one we all know for the Christmas. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely an endurance kind of thing. Worse than like 12 bottles of beer on the wall or something like that, because it's you have to remember backwards. So you introduce something, and then you remember every verse, every line backwards as you re-sing the entire verse again, and it gets longer and longer as something gets added to it. Yeah, it's a
great song for those who learn English as a second language, because you learn gerunds and the use of gerunds very well. So we used to use that during Christmas just to get the syntax imprinted.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
There's an old Irish one that's sort of the same. It's like there's a hole in a valley or something like that, and it goes on and on. Like there's a
hole in the bottom of the sea.
Something like that. It's like there's a valley, and there's like there's a leaf, and in that leaf there is a fly or whatever, and on that fly there is a drop of water, and it just keeps on going on and on and on and on, and oh my god, there's so many lines to it.
I think there's a hole in the bottom of the sea is what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure. I'm surprised. I thought you always think of these things as universal, but that's definitely one I remember as a kid.
Oh, really?
Here in North America, there's a hole.
Okay, so
there's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a. Now I don't remember the rest. There's a something in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a something in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it might be related.
Oh no, there's a log. There's a log on the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log on the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. And that's like there's a bump. There's a bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
There's a bump on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea, and then it just keeps adding on to what's on the bump, what's on the fly that's on the bump, on the flea. There's a flea on the fly.
Yeah.
On the something, and it just goes.
Oh, it goes smaller and smaller.
Is that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That might be it. Yeah. It just goes
probably
on and on, and it's endurance.
Yeah.
We have one in Greece that goes for endurance, and it feels very much in content like Old MacDonald Had a Farm, but it's a completely different tune, and it's when I go to the market, I'm going to buy you a little rooster, and then every verse, and the rooster goes kiki, which is like a cackle-doodle-doo.
Yeah.
And then every verse you have a new animal and the animal sound, and it can go on and on and on and on and on.
Right. It can go forever.
But then you have to remember them in the sequence that you mentioned them, because you keep repeating them, because it says, okay, when I go to the market, I'm going to buy you this little rooster, and then when I go again to the market, I'm going to buy you this little duck, and the duck goes quack, quack, quack. But then you get the little rooster goes like this, and the duck goes like that, and then you have the whole litany of animals, and you lose when you forget which animal comes.
Yeah. So there really is a challenge aspect to it. They bring that around.
And it's not only for kids.
Right.
Actually, it's also for adults for some reason. Mm-hmm. But of course, you can imagine that everyone is inebriated by the time that comes along. Yeah.
And
it doesn't last long as a challenge either by then.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, you can run out of steam in some of those. Not just forgetting, it's just like, I just can't do it anymore. I can't.
It never gets to that though, for some reason. At least over here, it's like someone always forgets and everyone laughs, and then we move on to something else that's just as silly.
There we go. And finally, someone lost. Oh god, we can all go.
Yeah, everyone's relieved.
Damn song! It's like a game of Monopoly. It's forever. Oh, jeez. Well, the Partridge in a Pear Tree song seems like that to me. Like, it's just, yeah, this is great. This is fantastic. And then you think, how many times I'm going to hear Partridge in a Pear Tree over and over and over?
Well, 12 times you're going to hear it.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
So what are some of your other fave Christmas songs that you like?
The more poppy ones. Let's
Oh,
say.
no.
No.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, yeah, sure. It's if you like them, say, sure. I mean, I don't like
I don't know if it is that, like, I mean the more modern ones, because I generally have a weakness for the older ones, like the older the better. If the medieval ones I really like as well. But there are a few modern ones that I enjoy a lot. One of it is the Christmas conga. I really like that.
God, that sounds weird.
By Loper. Basically, all the Christmas stuff that she has sung, I really like. It feels like Christmas. That's another one that I really like. What's the other one? I don't know. I don't remember now. But these two I always enjoy. How the ones that you don't like?
Well, look, now that brings to mind, though, modern stuff. I mean, say there's some modern stuff that I liked at Christmas. All right, so there's the Pretenders, a famous song. He'll be back at Christmas time, 2,000 miles away. That song, that's a really, really nice song. Then there's Christmas in New York. Or Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues.
Fairy Tale of New York.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. And the way like
sort of taking that darkness, that dark side of life.
Yeah, but it's
set
also
to a Christmas
good.
song. Yeah.
And there's the swearing, the lady says, well, they both swearing at each other. You're a bum, you're a punk, you're an old sluttin' on junk. Lying there almost dead on a dripping
Oh my God,
bed.
that reminds me.
You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, you ass. Pray to God it's your last.
That's awesome. I love that. But that also reminds me, and again, I really love it. It's a Christmas song by the Dropkick Murphys, and I don't remember exactly the title, but it's about Christmas with the family and how he hates reuniting the family. Like my sister is a bitch, and so is her husband, and I wouldn't even see them if it wasn't for the holidays. I don't remember the lyrics, but it's so much fun. It's like I hate all of you and Merry Christmas sort of thing. Oh, I love that as well.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
There's a song that I really love. Damn it, I cannot remember what it's called at the moment, but it's about soldiers fighting on Christmas during Christmas, and it's like based on that First World War stuff when it'll be over by Christmas. And it's such a beautiful song. The guy says, like that kind of thing. And I got to find it. But yeah, it's a really nice song, and it has that that kind of melancholy edge to it, which gives it a little bit more meaning. So it's happy, but you realize, but it's not happy for everyone, because some people are stuck in really awful situations, and the song sort of hints at. Like, this has been going on for centuries. We send these guys out. And whereas everyone else experiencing this normal kind of happy time, these other people can't experience that because they're sent out by their governments and they got no choice. Because the government says they should go out and fight. So I love it's a really nice song, even though it's a dark subject. So it's a fave. What about you, Baines? Modern stuff?
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, what was that?
Like modern Christmas songs.
I thought you said monster.
Monster.
I was like, is that a song? I don't know what you mean. Oh boy, I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, not. I like the Darkness, their Christmas song.
The Darkness. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So the Darkness's Christmas song is a very rude double entendre.
You know what? I admit I never even got the double entendre until you explained it to me like a couple of years ago.
So the title,
I just liked it as a song.
Yeah. Well, the title of the song is "Don't Let the Bells End."
Yes, I never got that double entendre before.
Bell end is a British slang for the end of a penis.
Right.
Oh.
That's yes. That's...
I liked it. I liked the song less after that was explained to me, to be honest.
You ruined it for Baines.
Yeah, kind of. But I do enjoy it as a piece of music.
Oh, that is a good song. I'm just gonna look up the lyrics to that one because it's full of jokes and stuff.
Right.
So don't let the bells and the film clip's fantastic because it's got all these because the band is like taking off that 80s glam rock kind of not glam rock, glam metal kind of look. So they've got this fantastic look. So the guy opens a present that looks like a guitar, and it is a guitar. Yeah, it's just silly. And in the end, like his magical Christmas thing is a Lamborghini Countach, which was the big fantastic car of the 1980s, and it's out there.
And they're a very 80s metal kind of band.
Yeah,
I like their style. I love their. Do you believe in a thing called love? They're a big hit there.
Marvelous.
So I love their sound and everything. Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite bands of all time. So the song starts out, feigning joy and surprise at the gifts we despise over mulled wine with you on the 25th day of the 12th month. The sleigh bells are in time, ringing in tune. How we cling each day long to the snowflakes and hope in hell that it won't end. Oh,
yes.
That it won't end.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Don't let the bells end. So yeah, that's a dark song because it's sort of singing about the fact that I hope we don't break up. Let's not break up over Christmas.
Right.
But, yeah, it's still charming and lovely and funny, and the film clip makes it all worthwhile. So the song I was thinking of is Jonah Louie. That's the singer, and the song is "Stop the Cavalry."
Okay.
Mm.
And it's sung.
I have to listen to that one. I don't think I have heard of it before.
Oh, it's a lovely song. I think it's sung to like a classical tune. I can't remember what it was, but it's there is a classical tune in there that gives it a very nice kind of sound. So yeah, that's one of my favorite songs.
Mm-hmm.
So what? This is a good
guy.
This is a good
military enthusiast.
Yeah, military enthusiast, exactly. But I like this theme here that we're sort of going along. I'll just bring up another thing, dominating the conversation as I do. One of my favorite Christmas songs that is not a Christmas song, that's not about Christmas, is not a song, music. Troika by Prokofiev.
Okay, if that's beautiful. But if we go that down that path, I also want to nominate Radetzky March.
Oh, really?
Which is also yes. It's the thing that the Vienna Orchestra Christmas concert party thing that they do annually that they open with, and it's very triumphant and happy and very very German, but in the nice way, like a super nice, super fun, super happy grandeur, German grandeur. It is nice. I really like it.
Also, the Nutcracker Suite.
You can never go wrong with I think it's Strauss, and I might be embarrassing myself, but I'm pretty sure it's Strauss.
Strauss, the German name.
Strauss.
My name is Strauss.
Strauss.
Okay, I'm gonna take it because if I am embarrassed, I would like to know about it. So let's see.
Radetzky March.
Radetzky March. Johann Strauss.
Well, there you are.
Senior.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Johann.
All right. I'm still not drunk enough. Okay.
Ich heiße
Going.
Johann Strauss.
I love the music for the movie Scrooged, which is very, very Christmassy, but kind of dark.
Put a little love in your heart.
Not that, no. But the instrumental music.
That's not
movie.
dark.
No.
Oh
Not
my
in the way
God.
you want, anyway.
And the world will be a better place.
Unpleasant. I'm talking about the instrumental stuff, and I want to say it's probably Danny Elfman who composed it. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
And I will look that up.
Nice.
I also love the music, if we're talking instrumental, from Home Alone.
Oh, really?
Which I just watched I have a younger brother, and he was a huge fan of that, as many people were at the time. And the music was phenomenal. I didn't actually realize it was John Williams, the great John Williams, who did that.
Wow, I wouldn't even think
soundtrack at the last minute. Yeah.
How about?
Danny Elfman, who did Scrooge. Yeah, I thought.
If we're talking instrumental music for Christmas, you do have. Like, I don't like the Nutcracker as a whole, as a Christmas thing. And I'm not really a fan, but there is this one sequence that I really like for Christmas, which is the dance of the Plum Fairy.
Yeah, that's what I like too. It's beautiful.
Which is super, you hear of it and it's very sugary Christmas, and I really like that.
It's hushed as well, so you just have the bells.
Yes.
And that's just so you can imagine, like, I don't know, ballerinas dancing on point, but it also gives you the idea, the hushed feeling just before Christmas. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and like snowflakes falling at that tune.
It's a very wintry kind of song, wintry piece of music, and it's all bells. The traditional version, which gives you that beautiful, like, tinkly kind of metallic sound to it. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, the rest of the Nutcracker Suite, well, there's some bits of it that I like, but it's mainly the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Obviously, adding those chimes and bells are the way to get a Christmas flavor if you're trying to compose something.
Totally.
Yeah, well, that's why I like Troika, because that's all like the sleigh bell kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're hearing that, you're having that rush of the sleigh as it's, running over the snow. Troika means 3 horses pulling a sled. So that's what originally meant. It means other things now, political kind of setups. But that
we won't go there today.
Yes.
Today, but
originally, that's what it meant. So it's been it's rushing over, and there's bells on the thing, ching, 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 and it's this beautiful kind of feeling, and it's like saying, "Yes, Christmas is coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming," and it's wonderful. There's a lot of energy to it, which is what I like. I'm not a fan of Christmas songs that are like hymns that they've been turned into Christmas carols, but they're very much like, and he is marvelous, and he has risen, and it's just too much on the religious stuff and not on the fun. Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on the music, I think. I like it. Like O Come All Ye Faithful is basically a hymn, if you consider it.
Oh, that has a nice feel to it. That's like.
I think it's really on the artistic result and whether you get to like something or not. Like, for example, there are a lot of pop Christmas songs that I hate, and I don't want to hate them. It's not that, oh, okay, the new stuff, get off my lawn with your new stuff. It's just it's just that they are, in a sense, like almost boring and very empty. There is no real They could have been any kind of other pop song. They just insert the word Christmas and some bells.
Oh,
and
right.
okay, now we have our Christmas song, and that's really Christmassy in a sense.
They're basically cash-ins. So people write. The tradition was to write a song for Christmas because you'll have a lot of idiots buying it, and just automatically, because that's what people do. And the Darkness song was written with sort of that in mind, but it was subverting it, and it made fun of it.
Yeah, but it was actually, they took time to think about Christmas, and they pick something that everyone can relate when it comes to Christmas, because when you meet especially extended family, chances are there are going to be people there that you don't really like, or a lot of friction that has been in the sidelines might raise its ugly head during Christmas when you get to be more with certain people. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah, like
that's the thing.
The Pogues and their
But
Christmas.
when you have something like, "Oh, I miss you for Christmas," and come over and be in your undies for Christmas, and okay.
Be in your undies.
Be in your undies for Christmas. Yeah. Come over and be in your undies for Christmas. I like it.
That would be a song. Oh. Yeah, okay. I'm not impressed, guys, because more than half of the songs in pop music is come over and be in your undies. Because it's Monday, because it's Saturday, because it's Christmas, and because I'm bored or lonesome. Okay. It's something that doesn't make it special, I guess. So
yeah, it's a bit limiting. Same with this Jonah Lewis song that I brought up. They only mention Christmas like in a couple of lines, but all the lines are about like I've had this fight down throughout the centuries, blah blah blah. I wish I was at home for Christmas, and that's the only line that refers to Christmas.
Yeah,
because everything.
But that is meaningful.
Yeah, it's a meaningful
there is this
song.
other one. I don't know if it is modern or not. I think it might be, or at least modernish. It is I think the title is December Child, and it doesn't, I think, at least in my memory of the lyrics, doesn't specifically talk about Christmas or Christ, but it is, December Child, and it is about a mother talking about how she fell in love with her kid the moment that she saw her child upon birth. Like, she looked at the child's face and she just fell in love absolutely. And it's very, very touching and very inspiring. And it is a Christmas song, but it could be about any mother and any kid. And it feels nice. It's not necessarily, the Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ. And I really like it. And I think it's modern. I think it was very recently composed.
Oh, really?
But I could, yeah.
I like some of the older tunes, like we were saying before, that just they're old. Like "We Wish You Merry Christmas," which is obviously about Christmas, but it's about like the more secular nature of older celebration. And I think that is quite an old song too. I'm pretty sure that's an old one.
I like that they are so on point on what their motivation is. Like, now bring us some fancy padding, and we won't go until we get it.
That's true. Yeah, that's hilarious.
And they are unabashed about it. Like, we are here, we gave you the damn carols, now feed us.
Make with the pudding. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that that is definitely a favourite song. We should bring us a figgy pudding. Oh, it is. And it's just such a simple kind of song. Yeah. Some people's hated songs are like Mariah Carey, doing her Christmas song. That's not so bad. Like I hate. There's a rock and roll version, rock and roll song about Christmas. Rock and Roll Christmas, I think it's called, something like that. It's
Rock around the Christmas tree.
Maybe.
Rocking around the Christmas tree. Yeah.
Christmas tree. Like a happy song, sound, something like
that. Yeah. Have a happy holiday. Yeah, that one's always bothered me, kind of, yeah. I don't really like it.
But there is this one that gets under
Jingle
my
Bell
nerves.
Rock. That's it. Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle Bell Rock.
And it's so anti-rock. Oh, it's not rock at all.
One song that I hate. I think, or for all the other ones, even the ones I dislike, I'm like neutral. Like it's going to end, and we will hear something better soon. But that one, like, it's an instant rage button. It's My Two Front Teeth.
Oh.
I hate it. I hate that song, especially this version of it that probably comes from some kind of animated short or something like that. It must have been. Otherwise, I cannot explain it because it has this little rant, squeaky voice singing it.
All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth.
And okay, but it's also like he screams it, and he has this whistly sort of voice that just pierces through your ears, and you want to find a fly swatter to just silence him with. It's shut up, please shut up. Like what do you want? Except for your two front teeth, because I'm going to knock out the rest of them.
That's what I was thinking.
Stop talking.
All you'll have left is your teeth.
Yeah, I hate that song. I hate it.
Yeah, those are nasty. I really don't like Silent Night. I know a lot of people love that one. Yeah, it just annoys me. It's just too long and drawn out, and I just cringe every time I hear it. Yeah, I don't like it. Silent
I like it.
Night, holy night. I don't know. I've got something wrong with me. The fact that I don't like it because it's a good song.
No, it's a matter of taste. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just for some reason. Nope.
Does not do it for you.
Yeah.
Does not compute.
What about Christmas movies?
What?
Movies. Yeah.
Christmas movies.
Okay. Christmas Carol.
I like them.
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. Is there a particular version of it that you like?
Blackadder. That was a good version.
I like that one as well. I like all of them. Like I will watch all of them. But the one that and this is probably like nobody's going to concur on this. I really like the version with Jim Carrey in it.
Really?
Although people hate it, but I really liked it. I think that it was very faithful to the original. I like the book as well a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
And the one thing that I don't like. I still like all the movies, but I don't appreciate it when they cut out the social parts, the socio-economic parts, and because that's basically the reason why Dickens wrote the thing.
Right.
He wrote it and he gave it a Christmas wrapping, let's say, because he knew that was how he would get people's attention at the time. And even if you see the first edition of that book, which was hardcover, gilded letters on on the cover and all of that, it was intended for upper middle class and up as a book.
Yeah.
Because the point was to entice those people that had some kind of leeway and affluence to be more supportive and more cohesive with the lower classes.
Right.
So
exactly, to convince them
to
convince them the way the ghosts convinced Scrooge. So they're basically the reader is
more or
Scrooge.
less. More or less. So yeah, I feel that if you cut those things out, then you do a disservice to the author. And the reason that he didn't write it so that we see, some fun
Ghosts.
scenes and some interesting ghosts, and then we'll go home happy. The idea was to make you think about what it means to have a cohesive society and how to judge a society, which I think is a good measure. Like, how do we treat the weakest part of our society? And that is the rule of thumb on how well we score as a society. So, yeah, there's that. So I like how they presented it in Jim Carrey, and they didn't they didn't gloss over anything. And if anything, it's almost like a horror sequence.
Wow.
And I really like that. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet. I've only seen, I remember.
Neither have I, yeah.
But speaking of my favorite version of the Christmas Carol, Scrooge is one of my more fun versions.
That was fun. Well,
so
we usually watch that every year in my family.
Oh, really?
Over Christmas. Yeah, if there's time, unless there's too much going on. But that's sort of the Christmas movie we always watch. Although I love A Christmas Story with little Ralphie.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in quite a while.
Lose an eye with that thing, with a big
yeah, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. Exactly.
One I really like for Christmas is that Schwarzenegger one. I think it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Phil Hartman.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, is that Jingle All the Way? Yeah. Which is surprising because I don't usually go for those kind of things, but it was on point as a Christmas comedy, and it worked.
Somehow it feels like it would appeal to you. I don't know why, but it feels right that you like it.
It's a silly...
I'm okay. I don't like or dislike it. It's fine.
It's a silly farce, and it's one of those things where Dad needs to get a special toy for Christmas and he can't get it, and everything goes wrong in his little mission about trying to get it. So it's just a formula story, but it's fun because it's got that, like, the joyousness of Christmas, and he's getting revenge on the nasty guy trying to make moves on his wife, and
and of course there is also oh my God, how could I forget that title? It's A Wonderful Life. Okay.
Oh, it's classic,
Classic. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's a take on the Scrooge story, but from a different angle.
Yeah.
Apparently. So instead of like showing this greedy person, how he's negatively affecting everyone, it's the other way around. It's showing this this nice person how the world will be worse off without him, and how much he is good for the world. So, that's a really nice sort of take on the whole idea of
a classic story.
Yeah, it is. One of the classics. To be sure, to be sure.
Yes.
So, Baines, did you bring one up, or? Oh, the Christmas Story, of course.
Well, yeah, Scrooge, The Christmas Story. I mean, Die Hard, if you want to call that a Christmas movie, it pretty much is.
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 1. 2.
Yeah.
Gremlins 1, actually, yeah.
Gremlins
2 is a Christmas
movie. Is it 1?
Yeah.
Not 2. Okay.
Lethal Weapon, set at Christmas, although Christmas is much more of a backseat in that movie. It's subtle, but it is over Christmas. They
Did we say Home Alone?
Oh, Home Alone.
Yeah, under music, we were talking about Home Alone.
Yeah.
But as a movie, that's a classic Christmas thing that has become a classic Christmas.
I like the first one. The other two, okay, they were fine, niche, but I think it was the same formula again. And yeah, okay, they're fine. But the first one, I think, was the fun one.
Yeah, it was the fun one. Kind of special and surprisingly huge.
Mm-hmm.
I found actually Die Hard 2 to be a more Christmassy movie than Die Hard 1.
Now I have to watch them. We should just watch them back to back together and get drunk. That's the thing.
All the Christmas films. All of them.
Yes. Forever. Yeah. During the entire Christmas day, we watch Christmas movies.
There you go.
And then we'll be on Christmas.
Scrooged. Yeah, doesn't matter what it is. Scrooge.
There was this other interesting one I remember vaguely, but it was at least it was intriguing to me as a kid, I guess, where there is Santa Claus, and he gets on trial for being Santa Claus or something like that.
Yeah, that's vaguely familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are a few movies that use this trope, but this one I think was the better version, because you don't actually ever get an answer on whether he actually was or wasn't Santa Claus.
Chris
you
Kringle.
get the hint. Could be. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it.
Miracle on 34th Street.
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. And I really like that. I like it when it is subtle and it lets you sort of pick and choose on what kind of indications you want to give more importance and decide for yourself what it is and what it isn't. I like these sorts of movies.
So that's a good one, Miracle on 34th Street. That's another classic that has become into the lexicon, because I think the character's name was Chris Kringle, I think, in that film. I'm not sure, but yeah, that has come into the that is one of the classics, definitely.
Yeah. The thing is that most of the Christmas movies, you do have like the nativity story, which I really liked as well, because it's a very nice depiction of the actual nativity story. But there is this element that I don't like as much, in that you have Christmas and the meaning of Christmas and everything, but you never actually see the religious part of the holiday, which I think is unfortunate, because it has so many things to offer as a story. And whether you believe it or not is irrelevant, in my opinion. It's that you have this very interesting story that you can dissect from very different angles and see very different things from, the love. Like, nobody has made a Joseph movie, in the sense that if we take the actual myth, let's say, of the nativity story, you have this man in a super patriarchal society where women get stoned for looking at another man the wrong way. And he has this fiancée that gets, to be pregnant, and he has no reason to believe that this is a divine thing, a miracle that has happened, but he still covers for her. And that, I think, is a very interesting movie to make. Like, why doesn't anyone focus on that guy that went way above and beyond for the era and for the stuff that he had to do in order to protect this woman and the child?
That is an interesting
And,
story. He's a surrogate father, isn't he? Or not? Is he?
yeah,
Surrogate father?
and it is true love. That is true love, in my opinion. Whether it was platonic love or sexual love or whatever, that is irrelevant. But you have this man that had every reason and every opportunity and every excuse to just cut loose this family that wasn't his, okay? And he didn't. And that is very, very interesting. Or you could slice it from the political part. And you have this king that feels threatened by this rumor that this divine king is coming, and oh my God. And he has had already these problems with prophets that point fingers at him, that he's basically wrong in everything. And he shouldn't be there. And like, how does he handle this? He panics and he makes a mess. But that's the idea, like, power games and stuff. There are all sorts of movies to make that don't need to be your Hallmark movie.
Yeah, focusing on the main show. You can tell it from the sidelines. Well, they have done that in sometimes from weird ways, like the donkey's point of view we've had. The whole
that was amazing. I love that. That's an animation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is...
that was really fun.
The Little Drummer Boy, of course, is another take on it. Which is, there's the song, but there's been dramatization.
That's another song I don't like.
Oh, really?
I don't like it.
I don't like the theme, but the drum is, and the
drum is on point. What I hate is that they also sing the drum. Parapa pam pam. Like, stop it. Let the drum do its work.
Get a drum that can do a pum pum for a start. Don't get a bloody kettle drum that can't do it. Don't get a snare drum or a bass drum. Get a drum that can do the pum pum without going snap snap.
There are a couple of versions where they don't sing parapa pum pum, and the song improves vastly, and I like it. I like it then.
Most versions, you have the song have no drums in them at all, whatever.
Yes.
Someone singing.
That's some drum performance, boy. Thank you.
Like, there's the famous version with David Bowie and Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby. And Cosby, I think it is. No, Crosby. Oh,
that's
Crosby. Yeah, so there's them singing, and there's no drumming, and they're sort of going off and doing a jazz version together or anything. Yeah, people say, it's the greatest version ever, but yeah. Is it though?
Is it though?
There is this semi-instrumental... now we're jumping from, movies to music, but I don't think it matters. There is, I don't know who the name of who made this version, but it's like Jingle Bells, but there is this really dark, deep, ho 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 voice, like Santa Claus is some kind of guttural earth beast of some sort.
I like that,
and I love it. And it goes at a very fast pace, instrumental in every other and every other way except for Santa Claus going like ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, and it's like yes, okay, Merry Christmas, just stay away from me, and I really like it. I just don't know the name of the singer that does that, and it's a shame because I want people to listen to it, and I really love that. It's awesome.
Which brings me to mind the characters of like the Christmas character. So in modern days, it's been turned into Santa Claus. So that's what the character is. But the character has had a long history. It is something that's been joined together from many sources and many cultures. So it's not, people trace it back saying, but Santa Claus is based on this 15th century saint, or it's based on this, but it's not. That's bullshit. It's based on all of these things coming together because in Germany we had this, in England we had that, in Greece we have this, in Russia we have that, and all these different cultures, they all have their own thing and they all come together. But say the British version, well, the British Isles, that was Father Christmas, which is apparently, that goes back to medieval times, that one. It's like one of the oldest depictions of a personification of Christmas. So Father Christmas wasn't a guy that, came around delivering presents and was a man. Father Christmas was a personification of winter. And he was called Father because, it's like a patriarchal kind of thing. And that's where that originated. And a lot of Christmas lore, old guy with a beard and stuff like that, and becoming jolly and associated with food and celebration, that character already had that. So in the British Isles, that's where that came from. And like a lot of our modern association with Santa Claus actually adopts that Father Christmas tradition. And
definitely,
because we had like St. Nicholas, okay, and people are saying, it's actually all based, and it's not based on St. Nicholas. That is one of the characters. But St. Nicholas wasn't a jolly old guy at all with a beard. St. Nicholas was a very dour saint,
Yeah.
That's right.
There are also a few St. Nicholases, so there's also that.
Yeah. But are any of them happy Christmas bearded?
Usually saints are not happy people, because in order to become a saint, you didn't have a happy life. Let's put it that way.
They tend to be a lot of them are tortured to death.
Yeah.
Because
over here also we have Saint Basil, and actually in Greek we don't have Santa Claus. The Greek translation for Santa Claus is Agios Vasilis, which it's Saint Basil.
Basil, yeah.
And he was also like a very tall, spindly, very dark brunette guy who never went ho 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 about anything. And he has like this. We have this story, and we actually have special customs based on him, which is why we consider the whole Santa Claus, the Western Santa Claus, a bit new fad, although it really isn't. But he's the consumerism guy. But Saint Basil is the actual Father Christmas for us.
Yeah.
Who was supposedly this guy during Turkish occupation, and so we're talking around 1500s. And what he did was that he was there. He was at the prefecture. He actually held the. Sorry about the noise. It's going to end very quickly. It's the prefecture. He had the lead. He was like a mayor, basically. Let's call him that. And so it was a very dire year, and the village didn't have the prefecture didn't have taxes to pay. And the penalty for that would be basically death, because we had that during Turkish occupation. So what he did was that, he told every household to bring out any silver or gold that they had in order to collect the taxes for the entire prefecture, and also, all the jewels and everything, which the people did. However, he tried to stop this from happening by appealing to the taxpayer and the tax collector, and he managed to get a waive for that year's taxes for his prefecture. So all the collected stuff that he had in the mayor's office, let's say, now he didn't need to give to the Turkish state, the Ottoman state at the time, and but he couldn't tell to whom belonged what, and so that he didn't want to have a riot like, okay, no, this is mine, no, this is mine, and stuff. So what he did was that he baked pies, and he put one piece of jewelry or one piece of gold or whatever it was in it, and he randomly gave a few to every family, and whatever they found in the pie was theirs.
Oh, lovely.
And that's how it was resolved. So ever since, the custom is that you bake St. Basil's pie. And the pie in has normally a golden coin, which if you get in your slice, it's your lucky year. So that's the thing. The custom.
Yeah.
The idea was, for the community came together, and then they all had this celebration instead of actually losing their fortune. So that's the moral of the story. It's not that he brought presents, it's that he protected everyone and sort of spread the wealth equally everywhere. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh wow! So it's an interesting way of looking at it. It's it means like the gifts are inherent in the tradition, and the kind of gifts. Well, so I mean, we have obviously there's other traditions of having like a penny in a Christmas pudding. I don't know where that comes from, but there's a 1 penny in the Christmas pudding was the original thing, and like whoever gets it, has this nice little surprise, but it was something that was for children, really, because obviously pennies aren't worth much, and we don't even have them in Australia anymore.
It sounds very similar, though, to our custom. But over here, it's really big. Like it's office talk next day. Like who got the coin? It's a big thing. Yeah.
Like a good luck.
Yes, and actually, it is such a custom that every business actually is obliged, not by law, but it's unwritten law.
Social custom.
It's obliged to have a St. Basil's cutting party, St. Basil's pie cutting party, and there you get, again, who has the coin, and it's not that you gain something, like you don't get any extra presents. It's just that you have this good luck charm, and that's it, basically. So
I like it.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
Christmas
I like it too. It's fun.
What about you, Baines, in Canada? Are there any particular Christmas traditions that you do? Because it's rather there's a lot of cold and snow and stuff like that.
There's a lot of cold and snow. There's a lot of we slap each other a lot to warm up our cheeks.
On the arse, of course.
Well, it makes them nice and rosy, if you're not getting the fullness of the cold effect. I mean, where I live, there's a lot of outdoors.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Hockey is huge. Skating is huge. Skiing is huge. All those awesome winter things you can do outside if you have enough trees and space and stuff like that, depending on where you live.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
What about Christmas drinks and
oh, good Lord.
Christmas
what
parties?
Isn't there, Yes, there's Christmas parties. You have your eggnog with your various substances in them. And it's great. Nothing so fascinating as yours, I'm afraid.
Well, in Australia, again, it's a newer country, following off many British traditions like Canada, I suppose. And like the Christmas meal is the main thing. Families get together, you have your Christmas meal. but it's summer here usually, so it's a lot of people stick to like traditional kind of roasts and stuff like that. But often it does get a little bit hot and awful if you're inside cooking for ages. Like
it would be so strange to have that heat at Christmas. It's such an alien.
Oh, you're sweating and
concept.
It's awful. Yeah, so a lot of people move on to more modern things like a cold meat or cold chicken or something like this, or maybe even salads and stuff like that, or maybe even like Thai food. I don't know. It depends, and you might spend Christmas Day at the beach, or often that like in a park or something like that with your family, enjoying the outdoors.
Well, that'd be kind of great.
Yeah.
There's it's interesting to think.
We
like,
can't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, you've gone dark.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I had muted this so that you won't hear me eating chips. Oh, that's why.
Sorry, Baines, what were you saying?
Just like bad weather activities are how we associate it. So it's kind of interesting that you're the opposite. Like ours would be treks through the snow. Not everyone does this, but like the sort of when I was younger, definitely, we'd go out into the bush, like sort of like walk through the usually deep snow out into the woods, and then find a Christmas tree to cut down.
And lovely!
Haul it home, yeah. So that was always kind of an adventure,
That sounds amazing, as a matter of fact.
It does, yeah. Yeah, it does. Not really as big a deal. It just the culture has changed so much, and everything is so much more, fast paced and more. It's very fast paced. I find life in general, and that infects Christmas. People get their artificial trees. Some people will go out and get their. I mean, we're pretty earthy folks where I live, so a lot of people will still go out, cut down their tree and all that stuff, and then of course, bring it home, break out the decorations. It's a lot of fun.
Over here, artificial trees are very popular. The reason is mostly financial, in the sense that having a natural tree, first of all, we cannot go out there and cut down our own because all the forests are not at a walking distance.
Right.
So there's that. But also, we kind of have run out of forest during summer because it has been burnt down. So we want to preserve what there is as much as possible. So there's that. And so that means that the natural trees are very expensive compared to the artificial ones. And they are considered an excess over here, in the sense that, like, why would you cut down something that could still, be useful to the ecosystem if you can have your artificial tree and be done with it, and also not pay for it every year.
Yeah.
So that's the approach we have over here, because we don't really we used to have forests that went on forever, and people don't really associate that with Greece, but did used to have that up until after the Civil War. After that, it began to just shrink and shrink and shrink, and we now try to make it expand, and it's not working very well, and there's that.
All right. Yeah, it's
It's working some, though. I mean, I don't want to, put a damper on everyone. It's working some. I mean, we do get very valiant civilian efforts of replanting trees, almost catatonically. Like, let's go plant trees. So, when we get our big fires, there is stuff to burn, and then we plant it again.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, well, one of the things we used to do is, a lot of families here use artificial trees, just as a matter of course. But one of the things we used to do was buy like Christmas trees in a pot. So we had this certain kind of tree called the Norfolk Island pine, which is a pine tree, but without the thin spindly needles like the northern hemisphere ones have. This has got this weird kind of branches that go straight out. Like each level, they go straight out, and then the next level they go straight out, and they get smaller and smaller as they go to the top. And the top has the smallest level, and they all go straight out. And they're lovely things. You can have them in a pot, and you can water it, and it just grows slightly bigger each year, and you can have that as your Christmas tree, and they're perfect for that. And you can, it's a living Christmas tree. So there's that, which is quite lovely.
That's nice.
Yeah. The smell of the sap is disgusting.
Oh,
It gets on everything. Yeah. Well,
you don't like the smell of sap?
The pine sap, it gets a bit strong, and once it gets on something, it's very hard to get it off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Make wine out of this, and
it's very tasty.
It only makes us want to drink. So it's
Retsina.
Okay.
Retsina?
Retsina, I'm impressed. Yes.
It's quite
exactly.
Nice. But the problem is I still have some sap stains on my trousers from last time I was in Greece. I couldn't bloody get off because I sat on a chair covered in sap. This damn tree had dropped it all over it. Greek sap.
Yes. Unfortunately, that was a hazard. Be glad it didn't go into your hair, which I have had happen to me.
It's evil stuff.
Yes. You just have to snip off that strand. It's gone. The tree has claimed it.
That's the end of that. That's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Bye.
Well,
bye, hair. It was nice talking to you.
Speaking of gone, we've gone a bit long on the QUACKCAST, so perhaps we should wrap it up now. So, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and
everything else.
Festivus and anything else.
Happy whatever holidays you're celebrating and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're all doing
Wintermas.
Yep.
Okay. Yes.
Hogmanay. I don't know if Hogmanay is Christmas. That might be New Year's. Who cares? Happy Hogmanay anyway.
Yule. Happy Yule, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yule.
Okay.
Definitely. That's the thing. I've never really understood it, but there you go.
You'll love it.
Yes. You'll have a
awesome.
great time. All right. You'll have a gay old time if you're the Flintstones.
That's right.
All right.
And by the way, next week we'll see you for the final QUACKCAST of 2019, I guess, huh?
Yes.
That'll be crazy.
It'll come out on Christmas on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. There you are.
Rather New Year's Day. You're right. All right. So, bye everyone.
Bye bye. Have a magical time.